The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties. From Terry Conners Rink in Stamford, the third and final game of our hockey triple header is on the HAN Network. And a good evening, everyone, along with Chris Kalin, Frank Granito, the dancing AJ Simonowski, Eric Gendron directing, and the rest of the team here. I'm Rob Adams. It's the 6-3 showdown in the FCIAC quarterfinal playdowns. And today, the number 6 St. Joe's Cadets take on the number 3 Fairfield Mustangs. Happy to have you along to see who exactly will move on to the semifinals on Wednesday night. We know now that the Greenwich Cardinals will take on the Ridgefield Tigers. The Tigers with a 4-0 win earlier this afternoon, and earlier today, the Darien Blue Wave won the girls' championship. But now time for game number 3. And again, much like we said with the New Canaan Rams in the most recent game, the St. Joseph Cadets have been a team of very much riding a roller coaster all season. Cato.
Yeah, they haven't had the kind of smooth run through their season that everybody would like, but they found a way to get here. So right now they found themselves a seat at the table, and they're going to try to make the most of it. Fairfield Ward is a team that pretty much I saw earlier, and I thought they were very good. They played very well against the Darien team that late in the game overwhelmed them. They had some outstanding goal play by Mike Grace, who is probably the best one of the best netminders in the FCIAC. You can make the argument he is the best, and he showed it against Darien. But like I said, Darien's 4 lines to Fairfield's 3 just overwhelmed them. But Fairfield does skate 3 very good lines.
We are meeting the starting lineups right now. Let's bring it in.
Calvin Sharp. At defense, number 17, Captain Charlie Pipper. At forward, number 15, Owen Emmendorfer. At forward, number 8, Jack McCormick. At forward, number 11, Jake Fuss. And goal for Fairfield, number 1, Mike Grace. Head coach of Fairfield, Tom Roche. Ladies and gentlemen.
And with all that said, we'll drop the puck right after this. Fairfield and St. Joseph coming up. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock Monday through Wednesday right here on the HAN Network. Welcome back to Terry Conners Rink in Stamford. Rob Adams, Chris Kalin, Frank Granito, ice side. Frank, let's bring you in.
Well, Cato mentioned my big key to the game, and that's Mike Grace for Fairfield. He has been the best goalie in the conference throughout the season, and this has been the surprise team of the year. They've got the nod as the 3 seed, but this poses an interesting matchup. We've seen 2 types of St. Joe's all year, similar to that New Canaan team that we saw, but I think we've got a great game on our hands and a good way to finish the triple header today.
And you know what it is? I mean, you've got 2 very evenly teams, but for the most, but for part of this season, Fairfield was at the top of the ranks. At one point, I think they were 9-1. They were top seed in the FCIAC until they hit kind of a skid where they faced Darien, then Greenwich, and it kind of went a little sideways for them. But they have recovered.
Yeah, they were 9-0 when they ran into Darien and Greenwich. They played them after playing 9 games over a 13-day span. It was crazy because of some of the snowstorms, and they had Darien on a Monday night, and we covered that game, Rob, and they were tied with Darien, or I think they had the lead actually going into the third period before Darien finally broke through. They're a very good team. It's a surprise team again. They're very talented. I expect this to be one of the better games we'll see in this tournament.
And the key for St. Joe's for them is they've got, Fairfield has 3 good lines. What you need to do is you need to pin them down, wear them down, kind of like what we saw at Darien, what Darien did to New Canaan in the girls' championship game earlier.
And for Fairfield, it's how do you contain senior Nick DiSabella for St. Joe's. He's been their highest scoring player this season. He's one of the better offensive talents in the conference. He is what sparks this offense. If you can contain him, that might dictate which St. Joe's team we see today.
Time for game number 3. Nick DiSabella and Owen Emmendorfer for the opening draw, and we are underway. Game number 3. The winner gets the Darien Blue Wave. Down on net it goes. By the way, standing through the national anthem before, which we always do, reminded me of a letter that's running in the Darien Times this week, and I think it is an absolute must-read, as this is going to be an icing. And certainly we support all of our newspapers in the company and all the great work they do, but really just a great read in the Darien Times. It's a letter, and just worth checking out. The writer of the letter, in fact, is Janice Morzano, the past state auxiliary president to the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and it just a reminder that, respect for that. It's more than just a garment, Cato.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Anyway, on we go with game number 3. Played back out to center, but I thought that was worth a little mention. The maroon and gold and white of the St. Joe's Cadets against the red, white, and black of the Fairfield Mustangs. The Co-op, of course, but they do operate as the Mustangs. In the years that it was a unified school district with just one high school, they were the Fairfield Mustangs. Then they split back up as it goes down on net. The second try as they poke at it, and it goes behind the cage. Over goes Jack McCormick to play it for Fairfield. They were initially Ward and Ludlow, then they split up, then they put it right back together, and then they split back up again.
And that puck lifted out. Anthony Beccaria with the catch, almost hesitant to throw it back on the ice. I don't think he wanted to get whistled for a hand pass.
No score, 1:11 gone by, first period. Off the draw to the far side, sent down on net, and a big hit here and a whistle with 1:19 gone in the first.
It's going to be...
This is a quiet building, by the way. Now, granted, Fairfield and Trumbull are not next door, but I didn't think it was that far of a trip to come on down. Faceoff will come back down to the left side of Ryan Wilson.
And I didn't see what the signal was there on that whistle. It's some kind of infraction.
I don't know. If we had a door open, that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
So off the draw to the left side of Grace, or rather Wilson, beg your pardon, comes over to the near side, goes back behind the net. Andrew Van Etten there for J.R. Bria and St. Joseph. And by the way, I'm glad to have a chance to do another Fairfield game because it calls to mind something that has lived in my brain for a couple of weeks. And you know me, I can't let these kind of things go, especially when it's me, and I want to have the accountability for it. A few weeks ago, we had Fairfield in a game at the Darien Ice Rink against the Blue Wave. Comes over into the near corner, played back behind the net. Trying to keep the pressure on are the Cadets, and they're able to clear it out of the zone. We initially had a roster that indicated a different coach for Fairfield. And I talked with their athletic director, Seth Fry, since then, and, he was a remarkably good guy and all, but, just feel terrible when we make that kind of mistake, whether it's a roster or otherwise. It bothered me, and I just want to, do the mea culpa to Coach Tom Roach and say, we know who you are now, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
Oops.
2.5 gone by. Well, the roster didn't say it initially, but that's still, we got to do our due diligence, and we weren't able to do it, and as such, we move on. So that's something that's been eating at me for a while. Played back by the Cadets. They'll bring it across and play it ahead with Connor Hurley. Get it out of the zone, back to neutral zone ice, and down deep into the Fairfield zone. They'll take it back behind their own net, stop and take a look, bring it back out of the zone. Played by Jeremy Ziegler, brings it across the line. Beg your pardon, actually, that was Jake Fuss, number 11. Off to the near side, there's Fuss wearing 11. Back out to center and sent down the left wing. No score, 11:52 to go, first period. Off to the far side, bringing it back out. They'll play at the center. Left behind for Kyle Parchinski, the defenseman for St. Joe's. Across the line, now here come the Cadets. They grab it, send it down the left wing with Andrew Gilbert. Back behind the net of Mike Grace, 11:30 remaining in the first period on net. He just kind of knocks it aside with the glove and no score. Held in left point through traffic, just chipping at it. It goes into the left circle. Played over there by Fairfield and Carson Rush. Rush again, takes a look, lifts it, put right back down. Nicely done in the slot on net, but that goes wide off the wrister from Parchinski. Into the corner, held in left point. This time it's Gilbert. Off into the corner it goes, and played by Calvin Sharp, the defenseman. To the near side with 11:05 to go in the first period, and no score in this quarterfinal game on net, and the glove save made.
And good early pressure here from St. Joe's. They've done a good job in transition. They've stayed on the forecheck, and they're getting pucks on goal at Grace, testing him early on.
They actually weathered an early storm by Fairfield. It was about four shots in the first minute 5 of this game, not 1 cent.
Face off to the left side. Into the corner it goes. To the near side boards. 10:50 to go in the first frame. Back out come the Mustangs with a big blast from the line, and that goes well wide. No score as we play on here. That was Gareth Cassetta, the junior, on the blast. Going to the far side, held in right point. That's Ziegler this time. Into the circle. They play it over there. Out of the corner. Now back behind the net. Looking to lift it up on net and right into the glove of Ryan Wilson.
There's an excellent backhanded shot, too, by Rachula. Gets in there, tries to lift it up to that high slot, tries to stuff it behind the shoulder, just couldn't get enough back there.
A Chris Kreider goal has given the Rangers a power play, and it's a power play goal, by the way, 1-0. But Ward leads Wilton after 1 in basketball, 14-12 to the far side boards and played back out. One upset so far today in the slot on net and save held on to by Wilson.
Yeah, it's pandemonium in the Kalen household right now. 0-0 for almost 2 periods. God, they had to be clawing at the carpet.
Face off to the far side. Left circle to the left side, I beg your pardon, of Wilson. To the far boards, played over there, left behind by Fuss. Fuss out of the right corner. Fuss in the circle. Stops, goes over into the right corner. Jake Fuss getting tangled up over there with Sean Antanasio of St. Joseph. 9:59 to go in the first period. Here's Fuss back behind the net. Left behind that net. Fuss will go over to the end line and play it there. Into the left corner it goes. Corralled back behind there by Atanasio. Into the circle. Sent wide. Goes behind the net. Trying to set it up. Oh, blasted just wide. Goes behind the net again. Played back there by McCormick. McCormick out of the right corner. Now grabbing it over on the near side comes Sharp. Or Emmendorfer. Make it Emmendorfer. Instead, put right out in front, and climbing on top of it is Wilson.
Good offensive zone pressure by Fairfield the last couple of minutes. Able to get on and sustain a forecheck.
And that's a very patient shift there. We saw them working the cycle as much as they could. Had a couple opportunities where they tried to throw it through the slot. It looked like St. Joe's was giving away the points, but the forwards still content to continue working down low behind the net right now.
Off the draw, goes behind the net. Andrew Van Etten there, bounces off to the near side, and out of the zone it goes. Down into the right circle, trying to dance around the man was Will Foldesi. Goes behind the net, now played to center ice, and grabbed there by Anthony Beccaria. Gets across the line, right circle, stops at the hash marks, feeds it across, bounces off the boards, comes to the near side. Pushed aside, actually got deflected off the body of Connor Hurley. Into the right corner, right hash marks now. Along comes Beccaria into the right corner. Put on net now out of the circle and covered up by Wilson.
And it really is good pressure. Fairfield's getting good spacing on St. Joe's. They're able to get the puck to open shooters, and they're not just winding up and firing. They're actually taking it into the net a little bit and trying to force Ryan Wilson out of position to get something going.
Face off to the left side from the high slot. The one-timer deflected. Wilson went to grab it, couldn't find it. Off to the far side boards, unable to hold it in, so out goes Rutger Gallard, the sophomore for Fairfield, to grab it. Now back behind the net goes Hurley. Hurley off into the far corner, waiting, trying to be patient, bounces off the boards, and of course comes out to neutral zone ice. There's Gallard, the sophomore, to the near side, and played just across the line by Hurley. He sends it down. Pinball's back behind the net, comes over to the near side. 8:19 to go in the first period, and no score. The winner gets Darien on Wednesday night. Again, part of a big 2 weeks for us, but certainly a big championship week coming up. We've already crowned a champion. We did so last night. Congratulations to the Stamford Black Knights as they knocked off Fairfield Ward in girls basketball, an 8-point win, with Tiana England winning the most valuable player. Held in left point, able to keep it just across the line with no harm was Van Etten for the Cadets. 7:48 to go in the first period of a scoreless game here at the Terry Conners Rink. Loose, goes back behind the net, off to the far side. Blast coming, this will hit the ceiling and the netting, stopping things with 7:36 to go in the first.
Huge blast and a deflection. It looked like it almost went through the ceiling.
And that was a great individual effort by Jake Fuss there, sliding and putting his body in front of that shot to deflect it out of play.
Face off to the right side of Mike Grace. The senior netminder for Fairfield, they are Fairfield, Ward, and Ludlow. It is loose, and Grace tries to cover, and he does. .7:28 remaining, first period, no score.
I mean, we're about halfway through this first period. Fairfield has been the aggressor. 8 shots on goal so far to St. Joe's 4.
DiSabella for the draw against Kevin Baldrini. It's loose and goes wide into the right corner. Knocked around back there. Foldesi puts it on net if he can, off to the left circle. Spins around, that's loose. Coming over to the right circle now is Will Gilbert. At the hash marks, goes behind the net now with DiSabella. Put on net again and covered up one more time by Grace.
And that's just a centering pass, Rob, that doesn't quite get to the center. It's a little too close to the net, almost like he tried to deflect it off the lower post on the back.
Lots of stops in this game so far early on.
Yeah, that's not making Frank too happy over there standing ice side.
He's chilly.
I literally was just saying to Coach Pat Gore, this has been one of the slowest games we've had all year.
It's not an unfair thing to say. These teams early on are playing like they're tired. Back out come Fairfield with McCormick. Now spun right back around. And down to grab it on the left wing goes Ziegler with an icing, instead whistled, and 6:54 remaining.
Just think, Frank, if we switch up on Wednesday, I'm bringing hand warmers and I'm putting them in my shoes.
Right, that's really what it was. I did not factor in how 3 games would wear on the toes.
And you're also used to wearing pads and skating down when you're on the ice.
This a tortoise-paced first period. Off the draw, Gilbert behind the net in the St. Joseph end. 6:47 to go in the first period, no score. Almost a bad turnover in the slot and taken back, but Emmendorfer could not control it. Getting across the Fairfield line, down the left wing goes Parchinsky. Puts it on net, it got deflected off into the circle. Comes back out to center, waiting there is Connor Hurley. He whistles it down, and Grace will come out of his cage and play it behind the net. No trapezoid, of course. A turnover in the left circle. Now in the slot, it went away from DiSabella. Off to the left corner goes Foldesi. Held in left point. Over there was Van Etten, down that left side. Now coming over and grabbing it is Gallard. And he wheels and fires back out to center. Almost a turnover, but controlled by Fairfield. Gallard will take it back. He bounces it off the boards and sends it all the way down for an obvious icing with 6:03 to go in the first.
And that's just a little bit of a desperation clear for Fairfield. They really didn't have to do that, They're just kind of just trying to get the puck out of the zone. There really wasn't anybody leading out there. I trying to figure out what that was for, other than just trying to get fresh bodies on the ice.
We have viewers and listeners who are admiring your defense of water coolers. Across the line come the Mustangs, and the backhander gets pushed aside by Wilson. That came from Beccaria to the left point and held in by Pippert. Goes around to the far side. Foldesi waits over there. Now a blast from the circle, and that gets pushed aside again by Wilson. Coming back the other way goes Hurley. Hurley to the right circle. Back behind the net it goes. DiSabella will come over there in the left corner. Just trying to backhand it on net, but nothing cooking, nobody home. Back come the Mustangs and out to center. Right over into the benches to say hello. And turned over and taken back by the Mustangs. Able to clear it and get it back into neutral zone ice. On comes Van Etten for the Cadets on net, and the sprawling save made by Grace.
And for a minute there, I thought Adam Usinger was going to get a spot on the Fairfield Ward bench.
And we saw a little bit of pace added there. Good solid minute and a half without a whistle. Got a little up and down action, shots at both ends. We're getting there.
Not bad.
Just stop with the icing, right?
They're young. They're new teams to this type of, to the playoff format here. These are teams that are not your notorious contenders, so feeling out the playoff atmosphere.
4:55 to go first period, no score. We have not had a scoreless first period in any of these games today.
And Rob just blew it up.
Oh, would you stop? This just in as a reminder, a broadcaster has no impact on the game. Off into the right corner it goes. That would produce a Vin Scully story, but I don't have enough time. Back out come Fairfield. They get it across the line. Down the right wing. Here's Fuss. Fuss always dangerous. Turned back and taken away by the Cadets. Down to the left wing and on net. Grace makes the stick save. Off to his right. And it comes back the other way with the Mustangs in a scoreless game. Out to McCormick. McCormick feeding Fuss. McCormick to Fuss, and Fuss on net. Wilson covers.
See what I mean? But give Fairfield Ward a lot of credit. They get out, they get the rush, they get the attack, and that's the kind of pressure you want to put on a goaltender. Get up in his grill and start putting pucks on him. That's where you want to see how the netminder reacts. When you put the pressure on him and you get up on top of him.
And it was in great anticipation by McCormick there to throw that puck to the middle before Fuss had even hit his stride and had passed the defender who was covering him. It wasn't until after the pass was made that he got open and had a chance at it. And we have a penalty, guys, as well against St. Joe's.
It's a hooking penalty on Connor Hurley. So first power play of the evening. It comes at 10:29. Back behind the net. 20 seconds gone on that power play. Off to the near side. I believe it was 10:49 actually was time of the penalty, but nonetheless, that's all bookkeeping. Left circle, thrown down on net. Looking for it is Wilson. He sits down, and the puck covered. He's got it.
And it was loose behind him for a second there. It wasn't until his defenseman stopped it just before it crossed the goal line and knocked it back underneath him.
Face-off will come back out to his right. 36 gone on the man advantage.
It's one of those, when you can't find the puck, sit down.
You're rocking the boat. Into the left circle, it goes behind the net. Played there by Van Etten for St. Joseph and out of the zone.
Nice clear by St. Joe's. Gives him a chance to get some fresh bodies out on the ice.
1:10 remaining on the power play. 3:19 to go period number one, and no score. Back out to the neutral zone and bringing it across the line. Down comes Emmendorfer. Emmendorfer leaves it at the right point. High slot. Here is Fuss, and the save made by Wilson. Jake Fuss with the big shot. Now the one-timer put on net, and Wilson makes the save and cleared. Charlie Pippert had a good shot. It went right up toward the glove of Ryan Wilson. He made the save. Coming back out from right to left, Fairfield. In the colors of Fairfield Ward, that is not to be confused for sure. We've asked some of these co-op players how they feel about such things, and overall they are unfazed by it. Backhanded down the left side. Grace will leave it behind the net. 19 to go on the power play. Hurley off at 10:49 for a hook. Down to 10 remaining on it. 2:20 remaining in the first period and no score. Here's Fuss through the neutral zone. Fuss gets across. Fuss left circle, dances around the defender, tries to flail at it, and unable to do anything with it was Gazzetta. Back out at the other end. Down comes Usinger on net, spins around, and the save made by Mike Grace.
Just unbelievable by Mike Grace. He gets down, he falls, he's beaten. And you just see the shot.
And it was
And Usinger has him and just reaches up like an octopus and pulls it out of the sky.
Well, it was very close to being too many men, too, with the transition out of the box. Usinger looked like he might have been a second early and had picked up the puck as the first man was just exiting the penalty box before onto the bench.
At even strength with 2:02 to go in the first period.
It's just an unbelievable save by Grace.
You can imagine as we get to period number 7 of 9 today, some on the crew are getting a little punchy. To the near side boards. Down into the left circle it goes, but having fun nonetheless. Brought around to the near side boards with 1:50 to go in the period. On net looking for the rebound, nothing there. That was Hurley initially with the shot. Back at the other end. Tiger Armas gets across the line, down to the right circle, 1:40 to go in the period. Into the right corner, goes behind the net with Van Etten. Van Etten to the near side, works it across. Here comes Usinger, and out to neutral zone ice. Spinning around is Foldesi. He gets it across, then delivers a little shove and a whistle here with 1:29 to go in the period.
Man, it just looked like that puck deflected off somebody on the St. Joe's bench.
Would it help if I brought you a coffee, Cato?
I'm fine. It's Eric that got cranky.
Oh, boy.
It's the non-hockey guy, not
Oh,
liking the
boy.
references. I don't care if he's the director. I'll pick on him anyway.
I'd like a coffee.
Yeah, but you didn't give it up for Lent.
That's a good point. No further comment on that one. Into the right corner it goes, back behind the net. 1:14 remaining in the first period and no score. Played back out to center and backhanded down into the left circle. Out it comes, and that was from Pippert. Spinning around, here comes Emmendorfer across the line. Emmendorfer to the left circle. Emmendorfer trying to get around with 1 minute to go in the first period. Left behind, here's Fuss. Fuss behind the net. Fuss over to the near side. Fuss in the left corner as he tries to get away from Atanasio. Out of that left corner. Back behind the net, here's Fuss. He goes to the right corner now. Gets tangled up there with Will Gilbert. Down to 43 to go in the period. One period so far and no score. Again, Atanasio lifts it off the boards into the left corner. Waiting over there is McCormick. Half minute remaining in the first period of a scoreless game. Back to the right point. Through traffic it goes. Deflected around. Fuss over there. Now to the far side. McCormick with 20 to go in the period. McCormick will grab it again out of the right corner. To the far boards. Along comes Evan Bacino. With 13 to go in the period, here they come. Across the line goes Gilbert. To the left circle now, Bacino with 5. In the corner, grabbed once again by Pippert, and the first period comes to an end, scoreless. No broadcaster jinx.
Just not today.
Just as a reminder, Vin Scully called 25 no-hitters in perfect games and always said it during the game.
So what?
Just saying.
So what?
1 in the books, no score, there's no jinx. After 1, we take a break, we come back, and we talk more words about hockey and other various topics. No score in the final quarterfinal of day of the game, game of the day. That's when you know you're punchy. St. Joe's and Fairfield scoreless. We're back to Stamford after this on the HAN Network.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. The construction is incredible, whether it's the floors, the fireplace, the moldings, the lighting. It's as peaceful as my home was in the middle of the woods. It feels like a house. It does not feel like a condo or a townhome. I feel like I'm in my house.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky, and this is your in-game news update, taking a look at the top stories of the week across all of our local news sites. Downed trees, power outages, and blocked roads made big news this week following a Wednesday night windstorm in southwestern Connecticut, unusual for February. Some of the town's hardest hit, like Ridgefield and New Canaan, were still left cleaning up on Friday. In one scary incident in Trumbull on Thursday morning, a school bus got entangled with several live wires on Bassick Road. The wires were on top of the school bus, and officials had to wait for UI to arrive on the scene to make sure the power was isolated before the children could be removed. 5 students were inside the vehicle when the incident occurred, and no one was hurt. And another top story this week, with the growing concern surrounding the heroin epidemic, the Darien Times took a different approach, interviewing a recovering addict. Mark agreed to use an alias to talk to the Darien Times about his real experiences with addiction. Heroin has rapidly gone to the forefront of Connecticut and other New England states as a growing problem. Drug overdose is now the leading cause of injury-related death in the U.S. for adults between the ages of 35 and 54. Overdosing is common among heroin users. According to addiction experts, heroin creates a physical dependence within 4 to 7 days of its first use. Users quickly develop a tolerance. But you can read Mark's story and experiences at DarienTimes.com. Another top story this week was news that students at Fairfield University apparently hosted a ghetto party sometime last weekend, said to have included racist costumes and stereotypes. Fairfield University acknowledged the party in a short press release on Monday, where they said that they had learned that over the weekend, students who currently live off campus allegedly hosted a culturally insensitive party at one of the residences. University administration is working with students and diversity officers to investigate the incident. According to some reports, students were wearing blackface, though the university has said they couldn't confirm that report based on their investigation. And an article that has gone viral on Facebook and the internet about a Detroit woman who allegedly gave birth to 14 children with 14 different men uses a photo that was stolen from the Milford Mirror website. The Milford Mirror is investigating the use of the photo, which was taken at Milford Hospital in January of 2015. The Milford Mirror article and accompanying photo feature an area couple and their newborn baby, which was the first baby born at the local hospital in 2015. The photo has absolutely no connection to any articles about a woman reported to have had 14 children. The family members in the photo published on the Mirror site last year are upset about the sudden and inaccurate notoriety, but you can find out more at milfordmirror.com. And finally, one of our top stories this week across all our websites is our vote for Week 10's Athlete of the Week. The playoffs have arrived in Fairfield County, and some of the FCIAC's top athletes have been showing off their talents on the hardwood, ice, mats, and tracks this past week. You can still vote for your Athlete of the Week through Monday on HAN.network. But that's all for your in-game news update. For the latest in local news and more, watch Coffee Break weekdays at 11. This update was brought to you by the Darien Sports Shop.
Here at the Darien Sports Shop, we are very excited about our newly redesigned men's department. Gentlemen, if you're shopping for work, weekend, or wedding, we've got the latest styles and trends inside our spacious new department just for you. We have vast selections from Peter Millar, Vineyard Vines, Johnny O, Duckhead, Barber, and so much more. And you can even walk out of the store in the new Wolverine 1,000-mile men's boot. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut, or shop us online at dariensport.com.
When it comes to local entertainment, we've got it all.
From movies, local artists, etiquette, and more.
Watch HAN Arts and Leisure every Thursday at 2 on the HAN Network.
I'm Denise DiGregoli, the host of The Drive on the HAN Network. Join me Tuesdays for some motivational, intelligent talk with a little humor as we visit with people who live their lives mindfully. Tune in to The Drive live on Tuesdays, 12:30, here on the HAN Network.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
I'm Kate Czaplinski. Join us for Coffee Break weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock Monday through Wednesday right here on the HAN Network.
What's happening up in Hartford and what's trending in the Nutmeg State?
Join Kate Czaplinski
And Josh Fisher
on CT Pulse live Wednesdays at 12:30 to find out.
We talk to the leaders and newsmakers while breaking down the stories you should be paying attention to each week.
With the help of HAN's editorial cartoonist Doug Smith, we take a humorous look at the news of the week. We talk about everything you were told you should avoid bringing up in polite company.
CT Pulse, Wednesdays at 12:30 on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to Terry Conners Rink in Stamford. Rob Adams, Chris Callen, Frank Granito. No score after one. Overall, fairly even, I think, in the first period.
Absolutely. Very well played period for both teams. Fairfield missing out on more scoring opportunities than St. Joe's, I would say. Other than that, Usinger shot over there that was just a great save because he had Grace beat.
And that was probably the best opportunity of the period, but Fairfield really came into their own offensively. They started working the cycle down low and sustained forechecks for a while at a time there. At the end of the period, we saw them throw it back up to the point, and they got their first shot from the point up there. Had the one power play opportunity, but was unable to capitalize on it.
And they did have 3 shots on goal in that power play.
No, did a good job controlling the puck. They got shots that they wanted. They had the opportunity from Fuss, who had the big blast from the point up there. He was without a doubt the best player on the ice, in my opinion, in that period. He controlled the puck when he needed to. He was facilitating, had a couple scoring chances as well.
And honestly, I think if they can maintain the pressure like they did, I think Fairfield's got a good chance of putting some points on the board.
And the big thing is, too, outside of the Usinger breakaway, Grace was not really challenged with any big shots that he had to make a stop on. He's too good of a goalie right now for St. Joe's to try to win this game 1-0 on a lucky bounce, because it's unlikely that it'll happen that way.
Yeah, if you're gonna do anything, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to try to move the puck well enough to get Grace out of position.
And that all starts with being able to control the puck in the offensive zone. We've seen them have a couple turnovers that they've turned into shots, but they haven't really been able to set up the offense down low, get a cycle, or have their points work it back and forth and create offense through them.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right.
Couple of quick notes from the scoreboard. Ridgefield girls basketball leads Newtown 18-14 in the Class XXL first round. That's at halftime. Julia Middlebrook with 6 points in that game. Rebecca Lawrence has 4. For Wilton, they lead Fairfield Ward 30-23 at halftime in the FCIAC quarterfinals. Cronenberg with 14 points, all in the second for Wilton.
And he's a tremendous player for Wilton. Great point guard, great shooter. When he gets going, Wilton's really hard to beat.
Yeah, when Matt Cronenberg gets it lit up, he can shoot the ball for sure. No score after one. Mike Grace now down to our left and Ryan Wilson to our right. Plenty of basketball going on, wrestling, girls, boys basketball, girls hockey, boys hockey. We've had it all today. We've tried to keep an eye on as much of it as we can. As the music builds, I thought they were going to drop the puck right at the high point.
So did I.
I thought that was going to be the most dramatic build-up to a face-off, perhaps ever. To the far boards it goes. It'll be taken back behind the net and over to the near side. Along the play, it comes Will Fuldesi. In the St. Joe's end, St. Joseph now moving from right to left, and 17 seconds gone by. Fuldesi gets across the line, has a man to his right. Usinger on net, and he scores!
And Cato, it's just like you said, you want to try to get him sliding side to side and shoot that puck in low, and that's exactly where Usinger finished, through the 5-hole there.
And it's great, and they weren't spread out too far. They weren't too close together to where Usinger can pick up that man coming. And it was just, for him, it was just reaction, and it was just Great hard puck movement to able to set up that shot for Usinger.
And the definition of a bing-bang play. The pass went over and the shot came right afterwards.
1-0 as this comes down on net to Grace, and he'll hold on. DiSabella and Foldesi get the assists. And the time to goal, 22 into the second period, 1-0 our score. See, they were just waiting for the end of the first period to allow me the chance to have them score in the second period.
No, you just wanted now there's going to be like 10 goals in this period.
Back out to center it comes, across the line Usinger, leaves it behind, across for a one-timer deflected, and it goes off to the right side of Grace. 55 seconds gone, second period, 1-0 our score. Back out to center, sent down by Gilbert, on net, and Mike Grace will leave it aside. Waiting there is Rutger Gallard. Back out to center, works it to Cassetta. Gareth Cassetta through the neutral zone, but backhanded across the line by Andrew Gilbert. Back to play it now goes Jeremy Ziegler, the senior for Fairfield, coached by Tom Roche. Off to the near side, and played right back across the line by Gilbert. Neutral zone ice again, a little bit of frustration from the Fairfield fans. Fairfield considered the home team in this game. At neutral zone ice, and we are on the home side, I should add. It'll go behind the net. Darien won the girls' championship earlier today, 2-0, beating New Canaan. Kept in, top of the right circle, deflected off a skate. That got deflected off Atanasio. To the far boards it goes. So congratulations to the Darien Blue Wave on their 4th straight girls ice hockey FCIAC championship. Sent back into the high slot, down on net. Got pushed off into the left circle, and the Cadets will bring it back out. Then in the first quarterfinal game of the day, Ridgefield knocked off New Canaan 4-0. Now here in the nightcap, a 1-0 lead so far for St. Joseph. And you thought maybe the Greenwich Cardinals, who are here, would check out after figuring out who they're going to play. But nonetheless, they are sticking around, and a bunch of them are off to our left. I believe Nick Bizzuto might still be over there. He is. Nick, one of the HAN Network Athlete of the Week nominees. You still have time to vote. We will not announce the winner until Monday on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. So get your vote in for whomever you may choose. You can do that at HAN.network. Into the left corner it goes. 12-12 remaining in the second period, and 1-0 the score on the Usinger goal at 22 seconds of the second period. Also on HAN.network, which has so much to offer to you. You can also go find, as we get a whistle and an icing with 11:58 to go, second period, you can also find more information on the ALS campaign that is going on. The Chuck-a-Pucks that have been going on and all that. There's the picture of the pucks and the bracelets. We all want to ice ALS. Absolutely should want to. Something that came to attention with Lou Gehrig, of course, in 1939, which is why we know it as Lou Gehrig's disease. 2-on-1 forming here on net. And Grace able to hold on. And it is just an awful disease. I'm sure virtually all of us have known someone, unfortunately, who has suffered with it at one time or another. And we had Claire Craven on to talk about it from Wilton. Her husband, Eric, is dealing with it right now. So ALS, of course, brought back into conscience with the Ice Bucket Challenge of a few years ago, which I'm still waiting for Cato to make right. Into the right corner it goes, as I did offer the challenge to my partner. Down the right side and back behind the net. Into the left corner. Actually, all three of you let me down that day. Back out to center and turned back around. You, Chris Irway, and Ryan DiMaria. Now down into the Fairfield zone, but I did the honorable thing and did it. My son did it, in fact. Across the line, this will get lifted up into the netting, and we skate on 1-0, 11:04 to go in the second period. But my son had a great time doing that. By the way, a few days late, but here on a game broadcast, a reminder of happy birthday to Mr. Sean Adams.
Happy birthday, Sean. And to your other thing?
Yes.
Keep it.
It's off to the left side. I even made a note of saying in my video that I wanted, your magnificent hair to take the Ice Bucket Challenge.
No.
Down into the left corner it goes. 1-0, 10:50 remaining here in the second period. That goes just wide by Fuss. Held in at the left point and kept alive by Pippert in the left circle. Now off to the right circle. Waiting down there to cause some trouble is Fuss, and it comes back out to center. Sent down the left side by Atanasio with 10.5 remaining in the second period of a 1-0 game. Usinger with the goal at 22 seconds of the second period. Deuces are wild. Oh, just deflected off to the side as Grace was able to make the save. Held in at the left point. Through traffic it goes, hits another body, blocked this time by Calvin Sharp. Off to the far side and played over there by Sharp, the defenseman, with 10:09 remaining in the second period. Fuss across the line, gets to the right circle, bottom of the right circle, spins around back behind the net, goes to the left circle now. Thinking about what he's going to do, sent it down into the left circle again, but instead it's thrown out of the zone by Connor Hurley. Collision of 11s back out at neutral zone ice. Parchinsky and Fuss, and covering is Grace with 9:48 to go in the second.
Very interesting turn of events for St. Joe's. And it looked like Adam Usinger was going off the ice for a shift change, and all of a sudden the puck comes at him, and then you hear everybody screaming, and Usinger turns around, sees the puck, and just gets rid of it so he can complete the change.
Back behind the net, off the draw in a 1-0 game. Left behind in that left corner. 37-34 last I saw Wilton up in that quarterfinal boys basketball game and taken back the other way, and out comes Carson Rush. Rush across the St. Joseph line, goes back behind the net to the far side and held in at the left point. Now pushed back out of the zone, the Cadets bring the pressure on, trying to get it across the line to Foldesi, but not going to work. So waiting is DiSabella, and he rifles it down into the right circle. Bouncing off the boards, it'll be played there by Andrew Gilbert. 9:09 remaining, second period, 1-0. Back out to the neutral zone, again ahead. It got away, though, from Evan Bacino down the right side. Goes behind the net, putting on the brakes Gallard, and gets it across the line. Out of the zone now with Cassetta. Turning right back around, here's Hurley. Hurley across the blue line, sends it down through the right circle near the right corner. It goes behind the net. Along come the Cadets, trying to create something out of that left circle with Stephen Payne out of the left circle and held on to by Mike Grace.
And Fairfield's done a much better job blocking shots this period than we saw in the first. Obviously, they were surrendered the only goal so far, but the last few minutes, I think they blocked at least 3 or 4 shots, Cato.
Yeah, I've got 3 shots blocked from Fairfield so far.
From the left circle, now into the left corner. It'll go back behind the net and played back there into the right corner. On comes Pippert in that right corner to the far side and out of the zone, and Van Etten will go and chase it.
And the thing is, even though Fairfield has the 3 shots, they still have 7 shots on goal for St. Joe's in this period, so they're putting the pressure on Fairfield.
Some quarterfinal action took place today in basketball in the SCC, and we like the good people out in the SCC. Al Carbone and company. I do. I like Al a lot. Covered up here by Grace. Finals from boys basketball today at Brantford High School. Hillhouse knocked off Daniel Hand 76-42. It was Amity over Guilford 64-47. Fairfield Prep 73, Hamden 59, and Wilbur Cross over Xavier 58-45. So not a good close game to be found among all 4 of them. Prep and Cross will play at 6 o'clock at East Haven High School, and Hillhouse and Amity will play at 7:45 that on Monday night. Face off to the left side of Grace, and 8 minutes remaining here, second period, at Terry Conners Rink in Stamford. Back out to center, and a 1-0 lead for the St. Joseph Cadets. Down it goes, and whistled around the boards. Off to the near side. It'll go behind the net and played by Andrew Gilbert. To the far side it goes now. Charlie Pippert waiting there. From Emmendorfer, goes to the left circle. Pippert again, thought about the blast. Instead, keeps the passing alive. Emmendorfer, now they'll go back behind the net. Emmendorfer back there. Pippert, left point, turns around. It got deflected and blocked, and out of the rink it goes.
And over by the concession stand once again.
Where's Frank? I kid. I thought maybe he was getting coffee.
Talk about throwing somebody under the RV.
I did. He talked about being at the concession stand at one point.
Well, he was broadcasting from in front of the concession stand.
I didn't say. Now you said that off
because
the draw.
He was standing there.
Comes over near side.
I have video proof of it.
Calvin Sharp down the right wing. It'll go behind the net and over to the far side. Adam Usinger there. He has the goal on the afternoon. Usinger will go over and grab it as darkness descends. You often don't get to be able to see outside of a rink when you're in it. There are some windows on the perimeter here, so you get a glance as to what kind of conditions there are. 2-on-1 forming, and the pass just a hair wide for Fuldesi. So darkness hitting here as we're at about 5, coming up on 6 o'clock. This is lifted off to the right circle. Usinger will go grab it over there. Indeed, a long day of hockey for all of us here on the HAN network. Out of the right corner, now a backhander, save made by Grace. Another backhander there. On net, DiSabella, he missed.
And he is shaking his head in disgust. He can't believe he missed the open net.
It goes behind the net. A glove hits the ice, and back out it comes at the left point. Grace pushes that aside from the left point. Usinger throws it back on net, now taken by Fairfield, and they'll turn it back with Gazzetta. Lifted down the right side for Beccaria, and a whistle with 6:17 to go in the second period. We still have a 1-0 score.
Frank, I didn't have a good view. Was that a shot on goal, or was that a block, that last opportunity for St. Joe's?
From the point?
Yes.
Yeah, it was on goal.
Okay.
It was on goal. It almost got deflected in front by DiSabella, and he gave a little hack at Grace as he made the save, and Grace took a swipe back at him. It got a little chippy on that shift.
Yeah, because I saw the bodies in front, so I wasn't sure if it was a block or it deflected off a Fairfield player, or it was Grace with the save.
It was Grace indeed.
You want to keep the scoring right.
Face off to the near side. Along comes Van Etten. It goes into the corner. 1-0, 6:10 remaining, second period at the Terry Conners Rink in Stamford in front of a smallish crowd. Back out to neutral zone ice. They'll send it down. Into the right corner it goes. You would imagine the crowds will get a little more outstanding as we head into the semifinals, and a touch-up coming here will create a power play down the right side. There will be the touch, and here is the penalty. It is tripping with 5:50 to go in the second.
And it's going to be Sean Antanasio going off for 2 minutes.
And you really could have called that a trip or a hook. He kind of got stuck in reverse while one man's trying to cross his face, went to get a little poke around the midsection and got him right around the hips, which caused the St. Joe's player to go down.
So off for tripping at 9:10. Puck out of the zone, back to grab it goes Pippert. Pippert and Fuss. Fuss will go back into his own zone. Fuss as good as anybody in the FCIAC. Almost made a bad turnover there. He was getting dogged by DiSabella. Back out to the neutral zone, brought across the line by McCormick. McCormick into the left circle and turned right back around by Bacino. Now cross ice, here's Fuss in the right circle. To the left circle. Again, and the net moved. The net moved. Wilson didn't need to make the save. A few groans can be heard in the arena, but nonetheless had to blow the whistle.
The groans came because Wilson went to the ground to what he thought was going to be a shot. It was going to be a shot right off to his right, and when he went down, he caught his skate on the right post. Oh well, for him it'd be his left on the left post.
Correct.
And pulled it forward.
Far side it goes. Pippert over there. Now on comes Kevin Boldrini. Goes back behind the net to the near side. At the hash marks, he'll take it back out of that right corner. In that right corner, over comes Emmendorfer. Emmendorfer behind the cage. Wheeling around is Van Etten for St. Joseph. They'll feed it back to the right point and all the way out of the zone. Van Etten's got to chase it with DiSabella chasing him. So they'll go back and they'll leave it behind. Pippert will grab it there. 1 minute remaining on this power play. Emmendorfer through the neutral zone. Sends it across. There's Fuss. Fuss left circle. Gets to the side of the left circle. Feeds it ahead. Emmendorfer comes over to join that. It's Fuss again with a backhander to the left point. Pippert there. Pippert will go into the left circle. Fed down low. Waiting now in the left circle. It comes back. Fanning initially was Pippert. Emmendorfer left circle. Emmendorfer joined with Fostich. Goes back behind the net, comes over near side. They'll work it into the high slot for Fuss. The blast on net and pushed aside. Deflected over to the near side boards. Into the corner, along comes Emmendorfer as well as Van Etten. 20 seconds remaining on the power play and 4:08 to go in the period. Still 1-0 and out of the neutral zone. In that neutral zone, Fuss, now Emmendorfer. Emmendorfer, the blast blocked by Connor Hurley. Penalty will expire, and we will skate at even strength. Down to 2-1, and that is over with 3:50 to go in the second period and a 1-0 game. Turned right back around out of the neutral zone now. Here comes Fuss. Fuss across the line. Fuss into the right circle. He gets poked off the play by Van Etten. Van Etten out of the right corner. They tangle up. Off to the near side it comes and kept in at the right point. Now out to neutral zone ice. Grabbed once again and sent down by Carson Rush. Waiting there and whistled all the way down to the other end for an icing with 3:23 to go in the second period.
And just going by the bookkeeping and looking at it, Rob, so far you've got 8 shots on goal for St. Joe's in this period, none for Fairfield. But however, St. Joe's does have 4 blocks.
Wilton leads Ward 48-46 as they get ready for the fourth quarter in that one. That is boys basketball. Face off to the left side of Ryan Wilson. Still 1-0 here, 3:15 to go, second period. Spun right back around, across the line. Lifted ahead to the near side, now at the right point. That got away as it was sent down on net by Ziegler. At the left point, now here comes Fuss. Fuss will bring it down and into the catching glove of Wilson, who leaves it aside. Played all the way back out and chipped down to the left side by Parchinsky in an icing.
And you look at the way the game's gone in this second period for Fairfield. The last few minutes they've actually been able to get some kind of offensive pressure, with the power play and coming off the penalty. It's just that St. Joe's has been very tenacious on forcing them outside the crease and not allowing them to work in the middle like they did in the first period.
Bouncing back out to Ziegler, and a whistle again stops things. 2:43 to go second period, 1-0.
Because that puck got deflected off Kyle Parchinsky on the bench.
And the St. Joe's D has taken away the Fairfield cycle this period. That's what's really slowed down their offense, and they've struggled to sort of establish any kind of pressure in the offensive zone.
Face off on the dot just outside of the Fairfield end. Here's Fuss across the line. Fuss right circle. This will get deflected up into the netting. 2:36 to go in a stop-a-rama-filled game.
And that's the other aspect that St. Joe's has done. They've been using the sticks for poke. They've been using the poke check very effectively against Fairfield as well.
Off the draw, into the circle it goes. Spinning around with it is Gilbert. Down to 2.5 to go in the second period. Off to the far side, Evan Bacino over there for St. Joseph. Adanasio there as well. Now they finally trap things, and they'll bring the face-off to the circle to the right of Ryan Wilson.
It's almost like a boxing match. Fight your way out of the corner. Fight out, fight out. All right, fine, let's start over.
Off that draw, Fuss backhander. Trying to get something on it. Fuss again on net. Wilson there. They keep the play alive. Now they whistle it dead. 2:10 to go, second period.
Excellent scoring opportunity for Fairfield. They finally get bodies in confusion in front of Ryan Wilson. Unfortunately, the puck scored away, and when in the process of regrouping, Wilson was able to get his bearings and pick it up.
Again, face off to the left of Wilson. Down into the right corner it goes. Van Etten there for the Mustangs. They play it around, beg your pardon, for the Cadets. They play it around to the far side and back out to center, where Pippert will spin it back on net, and again, covered up by the glove of Wilson. .158 to go, second period, 1-0. Off the draw, bounce back behind the net. On comes Van Etten. He'll play it to the near side. Fuldesi there for the Cadets, and down it goes. Almost a good pass down to Usinger. Couldn't quite corral it. Fed across into the slot and taken back by the Mustangs. They'll bring it ahead. Playing it with Gazzetta. Gazzetta right circle. Got taken off the play and pushed into the right corner. Down to the final 90 seconds of period number 2, a 1-0 game. Puck trapped along there, goes to the far side, Usinger and Van Etten. Van Etten will be the one to grab it. Comes back out to center. Van Etten skating through the neutral zone. Now ahead it goes with DiSabella, and offside the call with 80 seconds remaining in the second.
In that last rush, give Connor Hurley a lot of credit breaking up that rush. The defender sets up for a block. He gets beat, and then here comes Connor Hurley straight through to take the puck away.
Back out to the neutral zone it comes to the dot. Adanasio and Emmendorfer for the draw. And off the draw, controlled by Pippert. Played back to center. Now with a head of steam across the line is McCormick. Left circle, Fuss puts it on net. Fine glove save by Wilson.
Wilson, again, flashing the leather a little bit.
That was a good job by Jake Fuss entering the zone. He came all the way across from the right wing to set himself up, trailing through the slot, give himself the availability to get a clean shot on goal.
1:04 remaining second period. Comes back out to neutral zone ice, chipped along, and played down into the right circle. Down to grab it is Adanasio to go behind the net. He'll go collect it in the left corner. 52 remaining, second period, 1-0 St. Joseph. The winner has a date with Darien on Wednesday night in the other semifinal, Ridgefield and Greenwich. We will have it all for you right here on the HAN Network. Unfortunately, weather took away some of our broadcasts this week. We hope for nothing but blue skies in the upcoming week. To the near side it comes, bounces off the boards and out to center. And across the line, back come the Cadets with Connor Hurley. Hurley wheels around, brings it near side for Van Etten. Van Etten climbs across the line, blasts it, and it gets deflected off of Pippert. Down to 19 to go in the period, to the far side, sharp angle, and it's bounced back over to the near side. Usinger, who has the goal, tries to set it up. It goes for Van Etten to the right point, into the high slot, and Fuss. Watch Fuss turn on the speed. Fuss to the circle. Good job defensively by Will Gilbert as we come down to 2-1 and the period over.
And a nice idea right there by Jake Fuss, but with that little time, and you're the guy right now, you've got to take that shot, Cato.
Yeah, you're right, and I give Will Gilbert a lot of credit. He was very tenacious, cutting off that line to the net. I mean, at that point, he's looking for that. He's looking for some kind of trailer coming behind him. Nobody came down with him. So him, for Fuss, he's expecting help and doesn't get it.
And especially with only 4 seconds left on the clock.
If Fuss had help behind him, I think there's a goal scored there for Fairfield.
Shots on goal.
Shots on goal in the period. For St. Joe's, you had 8 shots on goal for them, 3 for Fairfield.
My goodness. Shots 17 all through 2 periods of play, but on the scoreboard, it is St. Joseph 1, Fairfield nothing. They will chuck whatever pucks are here in the building, trying to raise money for ALS, and we will take a break. Into the second intermission we go with St. Joseph leading Fairfield 1-0. You're watching the FCIAC.
We have a winner
on the HAN Network.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky, and this is your in-game news update, taking a look at the top stories of the week across all of our local news sites. Downed trees, power outages, and blocked roads made big news this week following a Wednesday night windstorm in southwestern Connecticut, unusual for February. Some of the town's hardest hit, like Ridgefield and New Canaan, were still left cleaning up on Friday. In one scary incident in Trumbull on Thursday morning, a school bus got entangled with several live wires on Bassick Road. The wires were on top of the school bus, and officials had to wait for UI to arrive on the scene to make sure the power was isolated before the children could be removed. 5 students were inside the vehicle when the incident occurred, and no one was hurt. And another top story this week, with the growing concern surrounding the heroin epidemic, the Darien Times took a different approach, interviewing a recovering addict. Mark agreed to use an alias to talk to the Darien Times about his real experiences with addiction. Heroin has rapidly gone to the forefront of Connecticut and other New England states as a growing problem. Drug overdose is now the leading cause of injury-related death in the U.S. for adults between the ages of 35 and 54. Overdosing is common among heroin users. According to addiction experts, heroin creates a physical dependence within 4 to 7 days of its first use. Users quickly develop a tolerance. But you can read Mark's story and experiences at DarienTimes.com. Another top story this week was news that students at Fairfield University apparently hosted a ghetto party sometime last weekend, said to have included racist costumes and stereotypes. Fairfield University acknowledged the party in a short press release on Monday, where they said that they had learned that over the weekend, students who currently live off campus allegedly hosted a culturally insensitive party at one of the residences. University administration is working with students and diversity officers to investigate the incident. According to some reports, students were wearing blackface, though the university has said they couldn't confirm that report based on their investigation. And an article that has gone viral on Facebook and the internet about a Detroit woman who allegedly gave birth to 14 children with 14 different men uses a photo that was stolen from the Milford Mirror website. The Milford Mirror is investigating the use of the photo, which was taken at Milford Hospital in January of 2015. The Milford Mirror article and accompanying photo feature an area couple and their newborn baby, which was the first baby born at the local hospital in 2015. The photo has absolutely no connection to any articles about a woman reported to have had 14 children. The family members in the photo published on the Mirror site last year are upset about the sudden and inaccurate notoriety, but you can find out more at milfordmirror.com. And finally, one of our top stories this week across all our websites is our vote for Week 10's Athlete of the Week. The playoffs have arrived in Fairfield County, and some of the FCIAC's top athletes have been showing off their talents on the hardwood, ice, mats, and tracks this past week. You can still vote for your Athlete of the Week through Monday on HAN.network. But that's all for your in-game news update. For the latest in local news and more, watch Coffee Break weekdays at 11. This update was brought to you by the Darien Sport Shop.
Darien Sport Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
At Innovative Health and Rehabilitation, we provide an advanced level of care to resolve symptoms and minimize recurrence. Our experienced professional staff design and implement effective plans to return individuals to their prior level of function. We specialize in the treatment of orthopedic and sports injuries, pre-post surgical rehabilitation, performance enhancement, strength and conditioning, vestibular rehabilitation, balance and gait training. A convenient location and flexible scheduling is available to accommodate your needs. We look forward to providing you with a comprehensive level of care to meet your rehabilitation goals. We are also affiliated with 3 high schools, Norwalk, West Hill, and Stamford. Our certified athletic trainers cover the athletic events at the high schools to prevent, treat, and educate student athletes and injuries. Our certified athletic trainers also take part in the New Canaan Youth Football Program. Reach us at 650 West Avenue in Norwalk. Call us at 203-852-9903. Innovative Health and Rehabilitation. Denali is your outdoor retail destination in the Westfield Trumbull Mall. For the last 21 years, we have carefully selected clothing, footwear, and gear from a variety of the best outdoor brands, such as the North Face, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, UGG, Merrell, GoPro, New Balance, and many more. Our stores have a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with all of your running, hiking, and cold weather needs, and in discovering all things outdoorsy and awesome. Visit us in the Westfield Trumbull Mall or online at denalioutdoor.com.
Here at the Organic Yard, we use bionutritional products in our lawn care programs, which reduces the need for fertilizers, nitrates, phosphates, and pesticides up to 80%, making a safer environment for your family and pets. With our organic lawn treatment, you'll receive vigorous, healthy plants with improved root development and better drought resistance. Enroll now in our 2016 Organic Yard program and get a free organic deer tick treatment. Call us today at 914-764-5491 or go to our website at millerslandscapinginc.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Back here in Stamford as we get ready for the third period and the team's hitting the ice 1-0 after 2. Adam Usinger with the goal at 22 seconds of the second period. That's the difference in the game. Rob Adams, Chris Kalin, Frank Granito back here at the Terry Conners Rink.
And congratulations to St. Joe's varsity coach, J.R. Bria, for winning the puck toss. And I actually think he got it dead center.
Pretty much. Wilton 63, Ward 55 in the boys basketball quarterfinals. 2.5 remaining in that one, courtesy of Sean Saylor, who has been there for all the games and promised us he'd be there for all 4. I still think Danbury-Ludlow will be a fascinating game. That is the 1-8 matchup at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that would be, that's curious.
Here we are underway in period number 3. Thrown across, on net, and down back behind the net. Into the corner it goes Jack McCormick. Into the left circle now with Adam Usinger. Near side and thrown back out to the neutral zone. Across the line goes Will Foldesi. Foldesi sprawling on net. Nothing cooking there as Grace made the easy pad save. Another poke at it, and it's Usinger from the circle. And the save made by Grace goes back behind the net, now into the slot, almost turned over, held in left point by Van Etten. Sent down the left side as it rides the boards. Out in front, Usinger not home. Turning back around and able to chip at it is Ziegler to get it out. Cross ice, bringing it over to Hurley. Third period, 51 seconds gone by. It's a 1-0 game. The winner plays the Darien Blue Wave on Wednesday night right back here. Fuss is waiting in the slot. Now he starts and comes back over into the left corner. To the left boards, grabs it there, sharp angle. It's loose and thrown back out of the zone. Not quite at the right point. It'll roll around and go behind the cage. On comes Van Etten. Van Etten back behind the net, now off into the left corner. With 1:20 gone by in the third period of a 1-0 game. Lifted and back out the center as it bounced around. A little pinball action there, and ahead it goes. Usinger, right circle. Down into the right corner. Tried to center it, nobody home. Turned right back around by the Mustangs and out the center. Almost taken away, though, by Parchinsky, who almost got it across the line. Almost does not count in hockey. This will go down into the right circle. Corralled back there, bounced off the boards, out to center, and Parchinsky again down the right side. Grace will come out of his cage, but nonetheless he will vote to not play it. Jeremy Ziegler will instead. Back out to the neutral zone, Andrew Gilbert awaits and brings it down the left side. This is the first anniversary, by the way, of our first video broadcast. It was 1 year ago today that Sergeant Hersom taught the band to play video. 1-0, 12:48 to go. Dirty looks from all around from the crew. And to the far side. I can't tell if the looks are for that's a great line or that was ridiculous. Into the left circle it goes and pushed down. It'll go behind the net.
Rob, I'm not up there, but I'm going to go with it was probably ridiculous.
AJ's just mad because he didn't think of it.
Down the right side and behind the net. In any event, it was a year ago today that we took the leap and climbed into doing video as this comes down the left side. We were just audio for the first year and change, and now all video into the right circle. Throw it across, puck loose. Trying to grab at it as Wilson. He's able to cover. Many of the same people on this crew today were a part of that crew a year ago. They were static cameras that we just kept pointed at the goals and one overhead that worked from side to side to give you the full view of the ice. And, well, Cato and I were here among others, and here we are a year later.
Yeah, but I still have a face for radio. The question is, though, the one thing you got to look at, keep an eye on Adam Usinger. He took a big hit in the corner. He came off the ice gingerly, and he sat. I'm pretty sure that was Usinger. It might have been Will Gilbert. I couldn't tell, really. But whoever came off the ice, they were holding their ribs and moving very gingerly. We're going to have to keep an eye on that.
Almost a turnover to Emmendorfer, brought back out of the zone and across the line. Now Van Etten will go back and corral it with Connor Hurley. To the far side, Fuss over there, and waiting to get it out of the zone is Parchinsky. Turned over, on net, deflected, and the save made initially by Wilson. 11.5 remaining. Third period, 1-0. Backhanded, Fuss, left circle, stick handling, goes to the backhand, sends it off into the left corner. He'll go chase it out of that left corner. In the corner, he and Hurley, now Parchinsky, into the high slot it goes. It went wide, looked like Wilson got a piece of it, off into the right corner, Fuss again. Fuss will start his move back there, behind the net, looking to set something up. He tries. It goes into the right corner. Now out into the high slot, put down, and went wide. That was Ziegler. Off to the near side. Ziegler will try to grab it. Instead, starting back the other way, goes Tom Flynn down the right side and lifted just wide. That was Buccino. Goes behind the net. He'll chase it into that right corner. Down went Flynn. He'll climb back up. 10:49 to go. Third period. It's a 1-0 game. Down the left side it goes, and it'll be left back behind the net with an icing called here, and 10:43 remaining.
High pace, quick back and forth for the first 4 minutes. 3 shots apiece for both teams. Both sides getting pressure, but unable to sustain anything.
Wilton up 64-58 with 1:49 remaining in that game as well. Face off to the left side of Ryan Wilson in a 1-0 game with 10:41 remaining in the third period. Back behind the net it goes, off to the near side. On comes Beccaria in that left corner. They'll work it down out of the left corner. Still scrumming for it there. The fight continues, and it's Usinger coming away with it. He threads the needle back out to center. Foldesi gets across the line into the left circle. Foldesi set it up out in front, but couldn't quite find DiSabella. Tried for the no-look, turning it over. It's Foldesi. Foldesi now taken away from him, and it'll come back the other way and thrown down the left side by Pippert. 10:05 remaining in regulation. Far side awaits Foldesi. Out to center. Waiting there. They push it around. That was Calvin Sharp. Taken right back by DiSabella. He got tangled up and thrown down the right wing side. 9:49 remaining in a 1-0 game. Usinger at 22 seconds of the second period. That's the difference in this one. 2 penalties, both have gone against St. Joseph. Foldesi, now Usinger. Usinger the backhand, the save made by Wilson. It goes behind the net, 9:33 remaining. The winner goes on to the semifinals. Greenwich and Ridgefield will be the other semi on Wednesday late afternoon into evening. Back out to the neutral zone ice and thrown down the left side. It'll be left behind the net. Along comes Grace to make that save. 9:17 to go. Back out to the neutral zone again. Here's McCormick. McCormick sends it to Emmendorfer. Left circle, Owen Emmendorfer taking a look, trying to go with something here, and out of the zone it goes down the right side. Fostich ices it with 9:03 to go.
Really fast-paced moving period so far.
And St. Joe's is playing a little bit on the side of caution here. We're seeing them when they have opportunities trying to dump it in deep, and they're forcing Fairfield to play the entire length of the ice here, starting from behind their goal line consistently, with the defense having to go back and pick it up.
Face off to the right side now of Wilson, off the draw, and it'll go behind the net. 8:59 to go, third period. Fuss, right circle. Fuss sprawling, goes down. Now in the right circle, Emmendorfer. The right circle a little extra slippery as everyone's falling. Back the other way comes Van Etten. He gets across the line in his own right circle, or in Fairfield's right circle, as the case may be. Goes behind the net and off into the left corner for Porchinski. Back behind the net now into the right corner. We'll just play a little game of catch, and nonetheless, Fostich could not put it home. 8:28 to go in the third. It's still a 1-0 game. Back behind the cage, yes, sir.
I was going to say, Cato, that was a good example right there where Fairfield is able to get a puck out towards the red line, and the St. Joe's D are immediately just taking it, throwing it right back in, and we're seeing quick shifts coming with it.
Out to neutral zone ice, played there by Pippert. Pippert across the line, down the left side, and an icing whistled with 8:06 to go.
And for Fairfield, it's going to get frustrating. You're going to see Fairfield start to take bad penalties if they let any kind of real frustration set in. Because it has to be frustrating that you can't get out on the rush because you can't get the puck past the point.
Ridgefield girls basketball, by the way, over Newtown, 42-21 in the Class XXL girls first round. They get Stamford in the second round on Thursday. So that will be an interesting matchup. Of course, Ridgefield knocked Greenwich out of the tournament. Stamford went on and won the whole shebang. They won it last night, 7:44 to go. DiSabella gains the zone, trying to get around the man. Then down on net, and a stone-cold save made by Wilson. Correct that, by Grace. To the far side it goes. It'll bounce behind the net, come over to the near side, DiSabella, setting it up out in front, but Usinger had the shot blocked. Kept in, just inside the blue line, thrown ahead by Gilbert, and out of the zone. 7:20 remaining, down it goes, and icing whistled.
That's where I don't like the automatic icing.
I can understand that.
I like the hybrid icing where if you're beat down the ice, you're beat down the ice. But that situation, great hustle from both players. Let them play on.
Face off to the right side of Mike Grace. Grace put his hands up initially. The net was off the moorings, and the officials whistled everything dead. Now we'll start over. Face off again to his right. Off the draw, it was Emmendorfer for the Mustangs. Comes behind the net and played down the right side by Adanasio. Now along comes Fostich behind the cage. Off into the right corner, and a penalty coming here with 7:03 to go. Wilton, by the way, a 3-point lead, 47 seconds remaining.
Jeremy Ziegler with the big hit. He's going to go off.
It's going to be for roughing, Cato, and you probably could have called it roughing, boarding, or hitting from behind, honestly. It was a very suspect hit, not a smart one, and we'll see how the St. Joe's power play does for the first time tonight.
And if I remember correctly, if it's a boarding penalty, it's an automatic 5-minute major.
No, that's not entirely correct. You can have a 2-minute boarding penalty. In high school, though, it's a very, very scarce call.
Right.
Yes.
And they'll usually just give you a hit from behind.
At the left point, they go cross ice over to Gilbert. Gilbert near the right circle. Now Van Etten trickles down into the left circle, and it's taken back out by Emmendorfer. Nudges it ahead to Fuss, who tries to play it off the boards. Now it's spun back around and taken by Usinger in his own zone. 1:25 remaining on the power play. 6:24 to go. Third period, 1-0. Usinger looking for more. Oh, it just missed. And back out to center. And just across the line, in fact, as they kept it in. Nice job by Van Etten. Off it goes to Gilbert. Gilbert near the right circle. Van Etten dancing in. Down on net and saved by Grace.
And that's just a tremendous job by Usinger. He's got the speed. He's got his defender beat. Gets out ahead. Recognizes he doesn't have a good angle on Grace. But it looks like he saw somebody out of the corner of his eyes and did a great feed to him. And had Grace beat, had him out of position, off balance. It's just a little too high right off the crossbar.
Van Etten to Foldesi. Now Gilbert right circle. Deflected. Back it goes and out of the zone. So chasing Van Etten with 45 remaining on the power play and 5:43 to go in regulation. Van Etten in no rush, and Beccaria kind of dogging him. Played ahead to Usinger. Half minute remaining on the power play and a 5.5 to go. 1-0. St. Joseph on top. Down to the left circle, Usinger trying to do it all. Instead, it's loose, it's on net, and covered by Grace. 5:23 remaining, third period.
And we saw Van Etten in the last power play standing behind his net, being patient, taking his time. In this game right now, if you're St. Joe's, you don't want to force anything. Even if you're giving up power play time, it's okay right now because you're ultimately giving up game clock.
Fed across, right circle, and again, Grace will hold on. $14 remaining on the power play. Right circle, and they'll whistle the play dead almost immediately. 5:14 to go. 12 remaining on the power play. They'll shift things up. Bring on McCormick for the draw. Down to 9 to go on the power play. Far side. Fairfield trying to stave this one off and keep things alive with 5:05 to go. A second goal would be deadly. Sent back out to the neutral zone. Penalty expires. Here comes Fuss. Fuss right wing. Fuss has got a man. McCormick couldn't get it to him. Off into the right circle, Emmendorfer. In that right circle, now they'll go into the corner with Atanasio. Coming back around, here's McCormick. McCormick down on net, and this time it's Wilson who will hold on.
And Cato, we've seen Fuss now try to make that toe drag move through the feet a couple times, and I think the defenders have picked up on it. I'd like to see him try and take that shot from right around there, right around the half circle.
Just wind up and fire.
Yep. Quick something, just even let's a quick snapshot right around the ankles. Just see if Wilson's awake after not having faced a shot for a couple minutes now.
Yeah, you'd have to go down low. Don't let, see if you could beat Wilson down low. We haven't had really many shots at him down low all game. Everything's been up high.
Here's Fuss in the slot, now to the circle. Deflected off a body. Kept alive, though. And penalty coming here with 4:26 to go. A tripping call is not going to make many friends on the Fairfield side. Off goes Emmendorfer. Terrible is the call from the crowd.
And Jack McCormick's looking at the official, kind of pleading his case. It's just pleading the case to get Emmendorfer out of the box.
And I'm not standing in this up with you guys, so I could say I don't think it was that terrible of a call, actually. From where I'm standing here, he had his stick in his feet, and he pulled him down from behind.
Fair enough. Down on net. Off into the right point. Gilbert right circle. Feeds it back out. Van Etten high slot. Blasted on net. Save made. And out to center ice. Down the left side now into the St. Joseph zone. 26 seconds gone on the man advantage. Parents are never going to like calls. That's just the way it goes. Very rarely are you going to find the parent that goes, oh yeah, that was a good call. Across the line, Usinger, backhand, save made, Grace looking for it, and they score! There's the deadly goal. It's a power play goal with 3:45 to go. St. Joseph up 2-0.
And St. Joe's gets the pressure. They get the puck on top of Mike Grace. Mike Grace goes down, gets the block, but he tries to go down and cover it up. And unfortunately, the puck gets knocked away over to that weak side where Grace isn't, and it's just an open net shot.
And it all starts again with Usinger carrying the puck up ice on the power play, seeing how fast he really is, and just using that speed to his advantage. He had the original shot, and a great job finishing from the back door.
Voldesi from Usinger at 11:15. By the way, 69 all. They have gone into overtime in that Wilton game. So they play on. The second overtime game of the day there, and played back out to center here with 3:09 to go and down along the right wing. Back behind the net, now to the near side boards, comes back out to center, played ahead by Atanasio. 2:57 remaining. Will it be a shutout of a day here at the Terry Conners Rink. So far, all 3 games have featured a donut under one scoreboard. Back behind the net, 2-0 in the girls' game as Darien beat New Canaan. 4-0 in our first quarterfinal of the day as Ridgefield knocked off New Canaan. And now 2-0 here as St. Joseph leads Fairfield. To the far side it goes. And back out to center. And across the line comes Usinger. Looking to center, now goes into the circle. Bounces back behind the net with 2:16 remaining. A 2-0 game, and looking like it'll be St. Joseph and Darien on a Wednesday night. Bouncing off the boards. Thrown down the left side. Into the St. Joseph zone with 2 minutes remaining on this Saturday night. Off to the far side boards. Fuss over there, down on net, and Wilson will hold on.
And you would think that Fairfield might consider using their timeout here. Expect Grace to head to the bench pretty soon. Time winding down.
Ward and Wilton on to overtime.
I'm actually surprised Grace is still out there. They didn't pull him in already.
1:51 remaining. Go ahead, Frank.
Well, they're screaming from the bench for a timeout. The refs hadn't heard it yet. Was all I was going to say. And I don't think we'll see Grace out there, Cato, after this timeout is over.
No, I agree with you.
1:51 to go. 2-0 St. Joseph on top of Fairfield. We will take a break and come back to Stamford right after this as you're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
It's the new year. The to-do list is long and it's easy to feel pulled in many directions at once. Your professional, personal shoppers at Walter Stewart's are ready to check groceries off your list by shopping for you. Save extra time this year and spend it doing more important things. Great food and wine delivered to your home with the same-day service. Shop Stewart's online at stewartsmarket.com.
The HAN Network is the leader in local broadcasting in Fairfield and Westchester counties. We reach tens of thousands of viewers via our live news, sports, and entertainment broadcasting. We can create your advertisement and broadcast it through our programming to one of the most affluent markets in the United States. And remember, our broadcasting is live, which means viewers cannot skip or click past your marketing message. And we measure our audience and their demographics on every broadcast. To advertise on the HAN Network, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.com.
Back here for the final 1:47. I have just retweeted a video, by the way, from Scott Erickson that has to be seen to believe. Ward is able to tie up that boys basketball game with Wilton, get the ball back as it's thrown down to the other end with an icing here in 93 seconds remaining. Ward gets the ball back, and a shot at the buzzer from half court hits the front of the rim. The Ward bench thought they had it and won the game, but not the case. Pretty wild scene. Go check it out. That's over on Twitter.
Empty net for Fairfield.
Goes behind the net now with Gilbert to the near side, waiting there Pippert. 2-0 and 1:25 remaining in the third period. Back goes Gilbert to play it. Gilbert out of the corner along with Atanasio for the Cadets. Down to 1:19. It's taken by Gilbert in the left circle, I beg your pardon. Been a long day. Into the left corner it goes. Fuss works it ahead. There's Emmendorfer. Puck loose as they try to scrum at it. They had Wilson out of position, but it comes all the way down to the other end and a whistle here with 1:03 to go.
It's going to be an icing. And just a massive traffic jam in front of Ryan Wilson. Just bodies everywhere.
Face-off will come near side. Fuss for the draw for the Cadets, or rather for the Mustangs. It's on net and goes over into the far corner. 1 minute to go. Played out by Pippert. Now Fuss right point. Fuss and Pippert and Usinger able to clear the zone. Emmendorfer will have to go collect it. 47 to go in the third period, looking like St. Joseph will play Darien on Wednesday night. Greenwich and Ridgefield will be the other semifinal. Usinger down the right side. Pippert takes it away from him. Spun back around. Here's Emmendorfer with 33 to play. Owen Emmendorfer moving from right to left, but again, taken away. Foldesi tries to hit the empty net and misses. Back goes Pippert. Foldesi feeds it across Usinger. DiSabella couldn't put it home. 20 down to the final 17. To the near side boards it goes, down to 15 to play, and back out of the zone. Down through the neutral zone and across the line, taken away by Gilbert as we're down to 7. Near the left point, kept in, down to 4. Playing it there, Usinger bounces it off the glass. Emmendorfer will watch it roll away, and this one is over. St. Joseph will move on to the semifinals on Wednesday.
Semi-final game here at Terry Conners this Wednesday evening. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending tonight's game.
A 2-0 game, the final score. And a good job by St. Joseph. It's not that Fairfield played bad. They played pretty well. They just could not get the goals.
No, as I start to do the final totals, 26 saves for Mike Grace in the game. 22 for Ryan Wilson, 28 total shots for St. Joe's, 22 for Fairfield. Both teams, St. Joe's had 6 blocks, Fairfield 5.
Usinger.
2-0 the final score. And I can hear Frank trying to get us a guest. I will turn his microphone down for just a moment to allow him the opportunity to collect his guest, who I see is making his way out. We are getting everyone in position. And this is what we call vamping, as we hold on for a minute. Frank's got his guest, he's got his man, and we go down to the ice.
Thanks, Rob, with Adam Usinger. Adam, you guys came into the tournament as the 6th seed. You just knocked off the number 3 team. 2 points for you tonight. Great game. What went right for you guys?
We just played 6 of our game, got the pucks out, capitalized on opportunities. We knew we weren't really the 6th seed coming in. We were a much better team than that.
Mike Grace for Fairfield's been one of the best goalies all year. You guys scored early in the second period. You got another one. How tough was it to get 2 on him tonight?
Yeah, he's a great goalie. He played good. Stopped a lot of our shots, and we knew from the get-go we had to get a lot of shots on him, so eventually I won it.
And, of course, on your end, though, Ryan Wilson was unbelievable for you guys. What can you say about his performance so far?
Yeah, he's done great. He's definitely the backbone of our team, and every night he comes up to play, and it's great to have him.
You guys are in on Wednesday night. How do you match up against them?
I think we're both fast teams, so I think whoever wants it more, and I think we'll show our grit and come out with a win.
Thanks a lot, Adam. We'll let you get your water, and we'll see you on Wednesday night. Rob, back up to you.
All right, a very winded Adam Usinger as the final score is 2-0. Now, we just started hearing times for the games. 5 and 7 is what I'm hearing for game time on Wednesday. Darien in the early or the late game? Darien, so we know now St. Joseph Darien, that will be the early game. 5 o'clock on Wednesday. As I'm writing that down, that means Greenwich Ridgefield is 7 o'clock on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to it, Cato.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be really interesting. A lot going on this week. It's going to be busy.
The question is, how can St. Joseph stay with the Darien Blue Wave? And Frank, you've joined us. That's my big question right now. How can they hang around with the Blue Wave?
Well, I think if they play a game similar to what they did tonight, you don't get too aggressive on your forecheck. You try to keep it deep in their own end, let them trap themselves, force them to play the entire length of the ice. And if Ryan Wilson can put up another performance like that, you stand a chance.
And he was tremendous tonight. The one thing, I didn't think Fairfield really challenged him as far as, high, low, puck movement, one-timers, trying to get him off balance. I think they just kept throwing pucks at him and hoping for the best.
No, and I think that you could say in the 3 games we watched today, and we saw 3 shutouts today, so credit the goalies who did win those games. They had to play great games to do that, but the teams that lost were not consistent, or were a little too consistent at taking poor shots. At a certain point in time when things aren't going your way, you want to try to change it up. Throw something low like we talked about. See if you can get rebounds or just a lucky bounce or something to get going for you.
And the one thing you saw Ridgefield do, and it's something they're going to have to do against Darien, it's like you said, in the second period, cut off the cycle. And Darienne's one team that loves to cycle the puck. But the harder part for Ridgefield coming up against Darien is going to be playing the neutral zone, because Darienne's outstanding between the blue lines.
It's the best neutral zone team there is, and they will take stretch passes, throw it right back in. You're right. They work the cycle, and something they'll do better than Fairfield did today was they incorporate their D, and they have got defensemen with big shots from the point.
Absolutely, and that's the one thing they will do is they'll pepper you from the point, and it's not that shot that's going to beat you. It's going to be the guys that are going to swarm around the goalie and put pressure on you with the rebounds.
That's right.
And it's going to really be tough on St. Joe's to clear those rebounds.
So just as a reminder, St. Joseph and Darien will be at 5 o'clock. Games were initially listed as 4 and 6:30. It's now 5 and 7. St. Joseph and Darien at 5. Greenwich Ridgefield scheduled for 7. That will be here Wednesday night. Between now and then, we will have the FCIAC boys basketball semifinals on Tuesday night over at Fairfield Ward. A busy night there with doubleheader action, and that is scheduled for 6 o'clock on Tuesday night. Then the semifinals in boys ice hockey on Wednesday. Boys basketball championship is Thursday at Fairfield Ward at 7, and the boys ice hockey championship is scheduled for 3 o'clock next Saturday right here at Terry Conners Rink. A final note from each of you, and let's get the heck out of here. Frank.
It was a great day of hockey. It was a lot of fun. Congrats again to the Darien girls winning their 4th consecutive championship, and I look forward to the rest of the games this week.
It's going to be fun. Cato.
It was a great day of hockey. Congratulations to Darien for, fourth year in a row, which is absolutely amazing. And give a lot of credit to Ridgefield and St. Joe's. Great effort on their part, and they move on. Now they both have tough tasks. Ridgefield with Greenwich, and now you see St. Joe's against Darien, so it's going to be fun.
Scoring in this game, Usinger at 22 seconds of the second period from DiSabella and Foldesi made it 1-0. Foldesi at 11:15 of the third from Usinger. A power play goal, 2-0, the final score. And so ends Shutout Saturday here on the HAN Network. Game number 1 featured the Darien Blue Wave knocking off the New Canaan Rams in the Girls Hockey Championship 2-0. MVP, Georgia Cassidy, she had both goals. Game number 2 featured Ridgefield knocking off New Canaan in the 4-5 game. The Tigers get a 4-0 win. And here in the nightcap, it is St. Joseph knocking off Fairfield 2-0. Semifinals will come your way on Wednesday. We will talk to you with Coffee Break on Monday and Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock on Monday as well. For our entire crew here at Terry Conners Rink in Stamford, here in the nightcap, Josh Fisher, Marty Hersom, Rocco Veluzzo, JB Cousins, David Teagarden, AJ Simonowski, Eric Gendron directing, Frank Granito ice side, Chris Kalin alongside me. I'm Rob Adams. Enjoy your Saturday night. We'll talk to you Monday and all next week. You've been watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network from Stamford. Good night, everyone.